Okay, let's have a look at Sweet Home Alabama riff. Righty-ho, let's have a little look at the music. Here we go. This is what the opening riff looks like. So you can see there's this D, C, G chords that go all the way through it. If I show you, if you watch the riff carefully, I'll do the very start bit. So watch my fingers. I'm playing this chord to this chord to this chord, and if you notice, my second finger stays static, so it's just this first finger moving about the place, finding where it's got to go. So if you learn them three shapes, then it's just about learning where to pick. So once you're in your first shape, so you're learning the notes to pick there, and then here, and then here. Okay, so I'm just going to look at them shapes on the down here. Okay, so this is what they look like. So you can see the D, C and G. So it's a nice simple way to play it. This is actually called a C add 9 because of this note, but it doesn't matter. We'll just call it D, C, G. And it's two fingers on each chord, which is nice. So let's look at the D. So your first finger is on the third string up. Second finger is on the second string up, but on the third fret. And this is what that looks like there. So normally you do a D here, but you're doing it like this now. And you can see the C moves up, the first finger shifts up to the fifth string on the third fret, so it's on the same fret as that, so you do this. And the very last one there, you can see the G, this first finger moves up a string. Nice easy little movement there. So let's just practice them three shapes. So D, move that up there to the fifth string, to the sixth string. Let's do it again. So that's most of the hard work done once you've learnt them shapes. So keeping this second finger on this second string, third fret. Okay, I think we're going to have a little look at what to pick on each chord now. So if I just scroll to the top and just go to the very first chord, you can see here. Alright, so make the first shape the D. You can see that you pick the fourth string twice, because that's on 0. So you don't have to move your fingers to these frets. These are automatically played with the shape that you've got down. So it goes fourth string twice, then the second string, third string, and the fourth string. So this should sound like. I'll show you what that's like. So the fourth string twice, second, third, and then the fourth string. So let's move to the second shape, the C. And you can see now, you pluck the fifth string twice, and then the second string, the third string, and then the fifth string. So this bit goes. So putting them two together. Bit slower. Okay, so the next bit, move your first finger up so it goes to the sixth string, and then you hit that twice, so that should be on the third fret, and then you hit the third string, the 0, so this bit is. Now if you look on the riff, the whole riff here, the D, C, G is doing exactly the same thing. So you've got these two little riffs at the end of each chord there. So we'll look at the first one and then we'll put it together with the sequence. So you can see here it starts on the 5th string 0 2, and then the 4th string 0 2 0, and then 2 on the 5th string. So, and I'm just using my first finger there, just this first finger. See that? And then see my second finger's ready and waiting here for the next bit on the 3rd string, which is a 2 0. See there? So this line. Now it's very hard to get that up to speed if you were to play that, pick each note. So you could hammer on this first bit, and then hammer on and pull off the second bit, and then hit the second fret above it, and then the 2 0 pull off. So I'll show you what that means. So the first one 0 2 hammer, and then the next string 0 2 hammer pull off. And then just loop that round. So when I was learning years ago, I would just get something that's a bit fiddly and complicated like that and just loop it round. And try and build up the speed, and eventually it'll become like a natural motion rather than something that's forced. If you're constantly learning the whole thing and not isolating the tricky bits, they'll always sound a bit disjointed when you come to do them. Okay, so putting this together. Okay, so you might want to stop the video and work on this little section here. I'm going to go to the next bit now. So you can see the end bit here is slightly different. So it starts off with the 3rd string, and it is a 2 0, and hit the 0 on the 4th string. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm pulling that off. So when you pull off, don't just lift off. See there? There's no note. You've got to literally pick it off with this finger. And then it's, oh, what's happened there? It goes to 4 0, and then it goes to 5 0. So this sounds like, oh. And I know there is a 0 that is at the end here, but that's the very start note of the repeating round again. So that 0 is just at the end of here. So just to go over this little bit again. I'll show you that. So 2 0, hit the 4th string. 4 0, hit the 4th string. 5 0. So. Just loop it till you can build up the speed. Anything with pull-offs in is quite easy to get the speed up pretty quick. It always sounds more impressive than it actually is. Right, so I'm going to put the whole piece on now. I'll just play it to you slowly. So. Now, when you're practicing, make sure you're practicing everything at the same speed. Don't just be doing these bits slow. And when it comes to this, go. Because in context, it's not right with each other. You've got to do the whole thing at the slowest point of what you can play it. So if this bit is slow, you must play the riffs at that speed. Because what you're doing is you're getting everything right in your fingers, and then once you're solid with that and you've done it a few times, then you can raise the tempo of everything. And you're going to find it hard if you're doing some bits fast, some bits slow. How are you going to raise the tempo and comfortably, because all the fast bits are going to even go faster. You'll be surprised how many times you loop something and you get it wrong, that it's really hard to undo. So that's why it's important to just play everything at the same speed, even though it's slow. So at this point, once you've done the intro, you could just strum it with them chords. Big wheels keep on turning, carry on to see my kin. So you got your opening riff, and then big wheels keep on turning. So you got the chords in between, and then there's a little bridge sort of riff that links the first and second verse, which goes. So I'm going to just put that on the screen now, and we'll just work through it. So it's kind of an iconic sort of little riff. This, it's worth learning, and then you can piece together the whole song really. Okay, so the first part of it is the 5th string. It goes 7, 8, 9. Now you could hammer on each one of these if you wish, if you want it to sound smoother. So if I was to do it individually, pick each note compared to see him hammering on, sounds smoother then, which is a bit robotic. And then you put these 2 fingers on the 7th fret in the middle strings, so, and then hit the 9th fret on the 5th there, on the 5th string. So let's show you what that looks like on the tab, because it's good to see it here. So, and what you want to do is, at the next point, shift the shape down to the 5th and 7th fret. And I'll show you the next bit here. It goes like this, 5, 7 on the 5th string, and then the 2 middle strings on the 5th fret go. So you got here. And that 5, 7, I sometimes hammer it. So you play the 5, hammer the 7 on. So you got. Show you the whole of that. This is what that looks like. Right, the very last bit, 5th string, you do a 0, 2 hammer. So. And then you hit the 2. Actually, I'm just going to put this on here. So 0, 2 hammer, and then 2, 2, 2, pull off to the 0. Now, just because it's a hammer, don't think that it's got to be quick. Like, you can play the 0, give it a bit of space before you hammer it on. Then get your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret up there. So I'll show you what that looks like. So you got. You might want to just, when you got that there, just put a G chord on and hit it. Back into the words, whatever they are. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. I went at a bit of a slower pace rather than just rushing through it, which is a bit of a mistake when you're learning songs, because you're constantly pausing, rewinding. So I tried to just keep it sort of at a slow pace of learning, enough time for you to take in what's happening. All right, thank you very much. Bye.